But y'all running 40 times now. That's just Moose running 9 flat.
Did anybody get the time? Only he know the time?
I thought it was like 6 or 7. I think it was like 7. You got a chance. Everyone has a chance. I said that on the last episode. Everyone has a chance. Moose ain't fast, bro.
All right, so welcome to another episode with League with No Name. I think it's episode 60. I forgot what's coming on 60. Supposed to do something, but we just pulled this together. So 60 just gonna be another episode. Got Jay here, got Cheese here. Moose is out and about. It's a nice day, so we didn't expect to see him. How y'all feeling today? It's a Saturday. We never record on Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. It's never a work day for us on a Saturday, so feels good to get in the office, man.
How's it feel to be home, Cheese? How was your little vacation?
Shit, U.S. is trash, B. I want to be a guy so bad and say take me back. I want to put some take me back.
Cheese look like Come
on, man. Why you starting the bullshit, man?
For real, you look like when they trying to get some like high intel from like from the hood. They black the face out. That's exactly.
That's OD.
Yo, Cheese
might be the lighting, bro. Might be the lighting.
Yeah. Purple.
Yeah, it's not. You don't got the best lighting going on either.
Yeah, I don't. I ain't turning on the light either. You're gonna have to deal with it. I'm black.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
No face, no case.
But yeah, let's just get into it. I know we started last episode, tell everybody we're doing the 40s to determine the draft order. Moose came in the chat the other day. It was pretty disappointed about his practice 40 time, but he wouldn't tell us the time. So what do y'all think the time was? Why would he be disappointed? It had to be pretty high.
Moose a liar, Moose don't like living his truth, Honestly, I'm not surprised at all. I'm not.
Mm-hmm. I bet you his get off was slow as dirt. I bet you his get off was slow. That junk ain't normal. You really gotta practice that joint. Like if you ain't never run track, if you ain't never, it's ugly. I ain't worried about my time. I already know my shit gonna be ass.
Always trying to figure out.
This is what chat wants. I don't give a fuck. I mean, this is what chat wants. I mean,
it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day,
still got draft.
I'd rather do one up, one down with ones, something like that. And like, show me what you got. This is just speed. I don't got that. Hey, my speed gonna be my speed. But I think Moose probably ran like. When I was thinking about it, I was like, Moose gonna high fives, because I don't think nobody in chat is really a speedster. So
they're not. I mean, no one is.
High fives is not something to like be as disappointed as he seemed about. I mean, the way he was talking, of course, but I mean,
I'm going based off how he's talking. I never ran track. I don't know. I already know my time will be slow. We talking about we gotta get in. I don't know.
So I'm gonna break it down to you. So it'll go like this. So like, I was talking to Randy, and instead of everyone running out of a 2-point stance, which I'm pretty sure everyone probably would have done if he didn't say it, you got to run out of a 3 or 4-point stance, which is 4-point. Oh no, that's defensive line. Old defensive line tactics, and 3-point is just regular track stance. So you got to come out of a technique to run your 40, which is going to make it even harder. I ran track for a year, but I actually I coach players who run track, and it's not easy. Like staying low, but also having speed. That comes with, I told you, it comes with having power. That's like lower body workouts, and you just being a natural freak, which none of us are. So like it's just. I laugh when Moose was like talking like that. I'm like, Moose, you already know how Moose is lining up at wide receiver. Now picture Moose coming out of a break in a 40. Like he's gonna slip, he's gonna do something wrong. And he's not fast. So I already told him he's not running 4.8. He just wanted to keep the props thing, but I guess, yeah.
Kids are funny. We'll see though. I mean, like you said in the chat the other day, it only makes so much difference because you can win from any spot in the draft. So we've seen.
That's why it's not even a big thing to worry about, because it's like you may not come in first, but you might have the 7th pick and you can still win the league. So this is just for fun, honestly.
Yeah.
But Moose made it like he's trying to show he's the fastest person in the chat. But I'm like, But you still might not like playoffs, so it doesn't even matter. Like,
yeah, I think the only people who, I mean, we all care to a certain extent. We all got a little bit of pride, but I think Los and Moose are like the only people that really care. That's more of a personal thing because they always go at it, especially after Moose somehow beat him in basketball. So Los wants some revenge somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pride thing, but we all not stupid either. Well, we like, there's more realists than it is people with pride that's like thinking, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I want to have the fastest 40, but, you know, because everyone's going to want the 10th pick or behind, you know, late in the draft. But I'm not going to go tear an MCL or a hamstring because I'm trying to prove a point. Like, just going to take my time. And then, hey, if I got to take the 4th pick, it is what it is. I had the 1st pick and made it to the chip. I had the 10th pick and made it to the chip. So we'll see, man.
It could definitely be done either way. Let's jump into some NFL stuff. Schedule drops week before this one. We did our record predictions. Jay, you put that the Falcons were going to go 3-14. Why are your expectations so low? I know you say you're rebuilding, you got young players, but 3-14, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. And we actually played two of the toughest divisions this year. We played AFC North and NFC West, which is every team in both divisions, you know, at least did something to improve the roster. So, I mean, when uncertainty at quarterback, we got Ritter, Mariota came in. We did make some moves at receiver. So when in doubt, we definitely going to throw it up. There's going to be, a couple oops out there with Pitts, and then we trade for Brian Edwards. But our schedule is tough, man. Our first 7 games, that's a gauntlet. Like, we start out with the Saints, who got better. Brought a couple hometown guys home, and then we go like Rams. Then it's like, I know the Bengals are in there. Browns. I'm hoping D-Watt gets suspended. That's the only thing that might help us. But yeah, I mean, we still lack a lot of talent on the team too. So I mean, it's hard to see a couple wins out there. I mean, you can always get lucky on a Sunday, but I'm not expecting too much this year.
Gotcha. So yeah, open up with the Saints, you said, right? Trying to find it.
And then go to LA.
The Saints are interesting because they have upgraded a good amount of wide receiver. And depending on what Jameis you get at quarterback, they could be very good. Do you think they have enough to compete with Tampa in the division? Yeah,
they have the defense. And we saw what they actually the last team to shut out Brady. And that's with Taysom playing at quarterback. So if Jameis could protect the ball, which I'm pretty sure they're going to, you don't really got to make too many plays. You got a lot of playmakers out there. AK, Mike Thomas, Olave, Jarvis now. So you get the ball out your hands, let those dudes play in space. They could definitely contend with them. Honestly, I think that's the only thing that really held them back was once he went out, they kind of faltered down because, quarterback play. Taysom got hurt, and then they had I think Trevor Siemian had to step in, I believe it was. So if he could just be solid there, their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games.
So, Cheese, you were away. You didn't get a chance to put your prediction in. So, general idea, not go game by game, but what's your general prediction record-wise? Around what record?
Same as like we've been. We're going to be fighting around those 11 wins, 12 wins. I say 11 and what is it? 11-6, 12-5.
11 weird.
Huh?
11 weird.
Oh, you want me to name them?
Nah, go ahead.
I name them.
We ain't beating the Colts this year. Yeah, but
we ain't beating the Colts. We're gonna split with the Colts like we always do. We swept them last year, but we're gonna split this year.
My bad. You get back on topic. My bad.
Yeah, I'm being honest. We start with the Giants. You already know that's 1-0. Might have the, you know what I mean? That's light.
that's trying to stir Casey up.
ain't nothing to stir. He know what it is. Ain't nothing to stir. Nah, I say 11-6, 12-5. I mean, we got our entire defense come back. We lost 8.
Ass.
It ain't ass. You wild. It ain't.
But you start with the Giants, but week 2 through 4 is pretty tough. You go to Buffalo, you got Oakland at home, and you go to the Colts. That's a pretty tough stretch to start.
Buffalo know our work. We ain't like Buffalo. I mean, listen.
There you go, man.
We had just to keep it a buck. We had the most injuries in the NFL last year.
You love that. You love that story. You love
yo, all those cats come back.
Half of those wasn't injured. Half of that was COVID too. Don't be
No.
No.
I think we had like 23 players on.
You love
IR.
that 93 players on IR. You love.
I love that. No. It was 20 something on season ending IR. It was 20 something on season ending IR.
Give it a rest.
Like 90 something players played for our team.
He loves that. He loves that number
because we beat the 49ers record, who was last year, and when they did that, it was butt. I mean, when they got all the but nah, just keep it a buck. You know, we play big when we go against big teams. We don't show up against smaller teams, but we got a tough schedule. So I feel like with our leadership, our coach, our style, Derrick Henry healthy, we got legitimate chance. Depends on when Robert Woods come back as well.
Forgot you got us.
Yeah, you feel me? Listen,
here you go.
It's always love, baby. That's your guy. That's my guy too. Now, you know?
You see how that worked out for you last time. You chill.
Just going through the rest of the schedule, you have some tough matchups. Week 9 at the Chiefs, at the Packers. You got the Bengals.
You
got the Eagles, who are going to be an interesting team.
They got the Eagles. They got the Eagles.
You still got the Chiefs? You still. We beat them 4 out of the last 5 times. I don't think it's like.
I said it's a tough matchup and it's on the road. I didn't say they were going to win. I said I got a tough schedule.
It ain't tough. You saw our work last year, 27-3. They ain't scored a touchdown. I'm not.
I caught them at a good time though. Like they didn't get streaky till
it was bad then. Yeah.
Oh no, we broke their soul and then they had to go back into the bye week and get everything straight. You know.
You think so highly of your team.
No, I don't. I'm
really La La Land sometimes,
bro. I'm a real.
That's why Joe Burrow came in here and took care of it.
Joe Burrow, different animal, my guy.
He had 9 sacks. He didn't even do much.
He did nothing. 9 sacks and loss. That's ridiculous. But we do got a tough schedule. That first place schedule is different. But a lot of people the Chiefs
did it twice, right?
I never saw Chiefs without Tyreek. I'm waiting to see that. I'm not even calling.
I like that. I do like it for them though.
Yeah,
because now you know, like it's not like you can't key in on him. Like who is it going to?
It's going to.
We just need guys to catch the ball. Like as long as you can catch, they got speed.
They got 3 pretty good new additions with Juju, MVS, and they drafted Sky. So nobody in that is gonna be like a top guy, but it's reliable guys.
What's homeboy that went undrafted?
Oh, Justin Ross. He's there.
Something, right? Yeah.
If he's anything healthy, he was a number 1 in college. So like, he just had some wild injuries. He had a neck injury, or like neck or spine injury or something like that. Then he got COVID. And then that whole 2020 season was a wrap for him.
Yeah.
They drafted.
And then he had bad quarterback play.
I think them losing 2 of their top 5 players will hurt early. So depending on their schedule early.
Cohesiveness, there's no one.
Honey Badger was the life and soul of their defense.
He was, but he was him and Sorensen was a little. They was fool back there. That back end wasn't like.
Sorensen is so butt,
They play together now too. They were the same.
Sorensen. Who else? Tyreek.
His dad must be like a chief at the NFL or something. There's no way Sorensen in the league. He is definitely not supposed to be in the league, but I guess.
So you brought up the Eagles. Well, I brought them up, which I was discussing them a minute ago. Moose not here. He put his record prediction at 8-9. I think trying to be overly humble. But then we got other Eagles fans in the inbox and the text talking about, 13, 14 wins. So realistically, they have upgraded a lot. They look like a much better team on paper at this point. What do we expect from the Eagles this year?
10-7.
I'll say 10. 9, in between 9.
Moose is not probably wrong because as for as much talent as they got, they still got a quarterback. You guys still got a running back at quarterback. So
disrespectful.
They can beat the teams that they like. Like an inferior team, like they should beat just off of talent alone. But a team that you really have to play ball with, like, all right, talent for talent, we match up. Now it's going to come down to X's and O's and making plays. Eagles, I'm still not sold that if they can do that right now. They love the AJ pick, but AJ he be frequently hurt. Like he got stupid injuries that he'll probably have a rib laceration and be out 2 weeks, but play the whole game, and then Monday they'll say he's out for 3 weeks. Like it's just weird, yo. Hurts has just got to improve, honestly. If he could just take that next step up of just being a better quarterback, processing plays and just hitting his guys. He's got guys over there that he just can't get the ball to. They got speed demons over there.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way Devontae Smith is not a 1K receiver. Like, you know what I mean? They should have two, but they'll probably both have 800 yards.
What you about to say, Chiefs?
Iffy, man. I said Eagles too iffy, too inconsistent. I think Moose is closer to a more reasonable win prediction than whoever was saying 13, 14 wins. 13, 14 not happening. I don't care the schedule. That's not happening.
13, 14 wins, and you've cemented yourself as, we are Super Bowl contenders. Eagles are not winning 14 games. Granted, the Cowboys lost talent, but they're still, that means you're beating basically the whole division. You're sweeping the division, and you're probably losing a couple of games that's out of conference or something, or interdivision or interconference. 14 wins is crazy. The Rams couldn't even do that. And they were the best team that was on paper, but Green Bay, what you went? 13-4-0?
13, yeah.
That's what the best damn quarterback. They better cut it. They better cut it. That's what the best damn quarterback.
Who said it was Bright? Bright said 13, 14 wins?
He happy, though. He happy. But you know what they do with receivers over there. So let time do it. Let time show you what the Eagles about.
They paid $25 million for.
I'm not giving AJ 25. Good guy. I'm not giving
13 games. 13 games and 800 yards.
Yeah, I think I know Bright said it. I think Shaq said 13 wins or 12 or 13 wins too. So
he's a leader of the Eagle world.
Shout out to Shaq though. He continuing to grow his following. He's respected in Eagle land, so it is what it is.
Crazy. I think they report to him with any news. Shout out to Shaq. Yeah, that's crazy.
Shout out Shaq. You gotta get him back on at some point. Talk some Eagles
definitely
stuff.
Around.
He was on at one point. I was missing, huh? I was sleeping.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He was on the actual episode. He was on when we was doing lives. I forgot how it was.
Oh, yeah, I think he was talking just ball.
Yeah, he came on IG on the live. But so we're gonna get into some drafts we liked a lot. But just speaking of the Eagles, they had a good draft. Trade-wise, they acquired AJ and they just picked up Bradbury. Did the Eagles have the best offseason up to this point? What do y'all think about that?
I wouldn't cement that as the best.
I wouldn't say number one, but they have one of the best. Top three for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna say top five, but yeah, I had a top five all season.
Okay. Who else was in that mix?
Dolphins.
If we go honestly, man, Browns. You can't say let's say the Browns got their franchise quarterback.
True. Yeah.
And still brought in the number one when everyone thought he was getting dumped to. Brought in Coop with him.
Chargers.
A good defense. Chargers had one of the best off seasons.
It's so weird how easily we forget about Coop. It's nobody talks about him.
Denver had a good off season for the first 5 games of the year.
Yeah.
That's
honestly, man, the Raiders had a good off season, bringing in Chandler Jones, Tay.
Don't mention us. No need.
Yeah.
Re-signed Max Crosby, got Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
Raiders had a very good offseason too.
Bills loaded up. They bring in Vaughn after the Super Bowl. A lot of teams reloaded. The Eagles are definitely one of the top 3 or 5 teams that had a top offseason. Gotcha.
So let's talk specifically drafts. Give me 1 or 2 teams whose drafts you really like.
Baltimore Ravens. They just know how to do it, honestly. Ever since Ozzie stepped down, they got a system in place where they just know how to get guys where they're just still getting Kyle Hamilton where they got him.
Yeah, for sure.
Ajabo, that's just they are gonna be it's the same old story. I'm not even surprised that they do it because when the Ravens are on the clock, you're just oh yeah, he's a Raven. He's gonna. Ravens about to do this, so they have one of the best. They have one of the best drafts. Them and the Giants, honestly. I love Jets too. Shout out to Gabe because he's dying for someone. He'd be sitting in the corner ready, be sitting in the corner choking. Someone gonna mention me? Like, yeah, shout out to the Jets. I think they had a great draft too. Getting top like 3 of the top 20 players in the draft in the first round. So I mean, yeah, a lot of teams did well too though. So
yeah, I think the Ravens, I would definitely say the Ravens were probably my favorite draft. As far as the Jets go, they had a very good draft. Do we think that that's going to translate to a few more wins, or it's going to take time because we got a lot of rookies that are going to be in prominent positions?
For the Jets?
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to say. It's just how fast can they grow and step up? Because Gabe, I think he posted the schedule, and I'm like, the first 9 games are just like playoff teams. Yeah, you might have. I don't care what you won last year because the Jets beat the Titans last year, but you can't tell me you were gonna believe that they will go do the same thing if the Titans play. But people forget that,
bro.
Exactly.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to.
No, but I'm saying, but yeah, you won, but you're leaving out factors of Derrick Henry didn't play, Julio didn't play it, AJ Brown didn't. Like they played the game with like Westbrook and Keena and blasting game.
He loves him, yo.
Kari, he a bear now. Shout out to Kari, man.
How many times has that name come up on the show?
Yo, for no reason, and it's always J.A. Why
Madden, bro.
Bringing up our fucking
they
fullback
every other episode?
They put him in on 3rd down. I like blasting game.
Yeah, but, he found a way to bring him up in the off season, not even during the season.
Yeah. Shout out to Kari, man. Hey, that might be the person we need to follow. So he show some love, man. Shout out to Kari, man.
That's
good hands, man. He got a couple red zone touchdowns, man.
Gotcha. Cheese. Any drafts that you like in particular other than the ones mentioned?
Chiefs, I like. Besides the Ravens, Jets, Chiefs, I like a lot.
Chiefs was very solid.
Trent McDuffie. What's the edge dude from Purdue? I don't know. I don't want
like George Carolina.
Yeah,
I know you.
Yeah, Sky George Moore. They got the safety from Cincinnati, Brian Cook. Like we mentioned, they got Justin Ross. They just they loaded up on talent where they needed it. Got edge, got corner, you got another receiver, a safety. You lost both of your safeties. You got another safety. So I really like what the Kansas City Chiefs did. It all depends on how quick they can transition, because they're in win now mode with or without Tyreek. As long as they have Pat, they're contenders. So I like what they did to get some talent on that team early.
Gotcha. We can skip over the worst drafts. And I want to get into some conversation about either or who you're going to take out of 2 guys. We started a conversation in chat. I forgot exactly how it started yesterday. We were talking about because I posted the tight ends on the story, and
left us out though. Left us out, but yeah, go ahead.
Somebody had picked other, and we started talking about who those other guys were. So the guys that came up were 2 of the guys were Kyle Pitts and Darren Waller. So for you guys, who of those 2 would you take first this year based on situations?
I'll go first because.
Okay. No, well, I'll take Waller.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was gonna go opposite. I was gonna go Pitts.
And why?
I'm going Pitts because Mariota, he loves tight ends. The only person he threw to was Delaney Walker. It's besides Drake London and
Leave us, please.
Ryan Edwards. I mean, it's his Mariota's gonna throw. He's gonna throw.
You got some dogs over there.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, no, y'all got talent over there.
There's some dogs over there.
Derek Carr got his best friend with him.
Yeah.
And then Josh McDaniels gonna try to run the ball, and you got Hunter Renfrow. Those are 2 other elite pass catchers. I wouldn't say the Falcons got elite pass catchers yet, unless elite. I didn't see it from Drake London yet. I ain't see it from Drake London.
No, it's too early.
Yeah, it's too early. So that's what I'm going based off what I've seen so far. I mean, Drake London's going to take. Obviously, he's going to take targets, but I mean, there's no C Rid there either for the year.
Yeah, he on FanDuel.
Yeah, FanDuel Red.
Why are you taking Waller, Jed?
Honestly, just the weaponry. Like they're loaded. Like they're gonna be up. They're gonna be looking for him. If you double take, which you're gonna have to because we see what Tate does to man-to-man coverage. Nothing the quarterback loves more than a security blanket, which is Waller in the middle of the field. When healthy, Waller's there. And I think the Raiders that we saw before the Ruggs situation, they were prolific. They were like leading the league in like passing at one point when they were undefeated. Waller and them boys, he was leading them. That's without a true number one. Their number one receiver at that time was probably Ruggs or Brian Edwards, who was playing mostly the X. So you put in a true Hall of Fame wide receiver type caliber guy out there, where are you going to go? His opportunity to go up. They're going to have opportunities to throw the ball downfield. Pitts was kind of hard because it's like, does Mariota hit a stallmate? You know, do we put the rookie in? Does he hit like, that rookie wall? Like, it's kind of hard. We saw even with Matt Ryan, like being older, we don't have the right line there. We could barely get Pitts the ball some games. So, and he's seeing triple coverage, and everyone's asking me like, what's good with Pitts? And like, it's not him like per se. It's just, when you don't have a true number one out there. So that's why London still has to show up, whether he's 6'5" or not. Brian Edwards is there, that helps. But if they're not showing up, all teams are going to do is just put a bracket on Pitts, and then that hurts his stock too. So I'll go with the offense that's more like potent, which is the Raiders, and I think Waller should go first because that's what tends to happen in fantasy. You see the offensive power, and you go, you know what? Let me go get this guy before they might throw the ball around the park. I'm going to get him before I go get Pitts for sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that offense looks. Definitely a lot of potential to have better matchups when you got Tay on the outside, but it's also a lot more targets that are going to be going away from you because you got a guy like that. So I'm pretty interested.
You got to make the most of them.
Yeah,
you can get 6 targets, but you get 4 for 85. You did your job for me today. Just punch that
4 for 85 and 1 touchdown. That's a good tight end day.
That's
a great tight end day.
That's a great tight end day.
That's a great tight end.
For the next games.
Yeah, that's 18. That's 18 to 20 points. That's a
4 for 85. 4 for 85 already, like 16, 17. You get a tutty. That's 23. Hey, we tuck it in. We take it out to the crib. So 4 for 85. Hey, Waller just as long as he got the yards per reception is just up, you're good. As long as ain't none of them dink and dunks. Like as long as he getting, I say around like 13, 14 yards per catch. Hey, you take what it is.
Yeah. So
and they're in a division that throws. You got to think about who they about to be playing.
Yeah, it's gonna be some shootouts.
Chargers signed a kicker for no reason because they not over under 5 punts this year. They're not punting.
5 punts a year.
Wow, they won't punt, bro.
Well, last thing on Pitts, what do you expect touchdown wise? How many touchdowns do you think with Pitts this year? If
Matt Ryan gone, so he definitely getting about 6. Matt Ryan don't throw touchdowns to these dudes, bro. Matt Ryan just don't. He had 1 touchdown. It wasn't even on American soil. He had it in London. Like, how does he not?
I saw that stat and I was like, I had him all year and I saw I never noticed.
His only touchdown in America was in the Pro Bowl.
He's laughing. That's it.
But it's Matt Ryan. Like, think about all the times you be like, damn, Julio numbers is nice, but what does Julio lack?
Touchdown.
Everybody know Julio got no damn touchdowns. Like, if it wasn't for the yards, Julio wouldn't probably make it to the fame. Like, it's
don't say that name. That name is a bum to me. That name that name is a bum to me.
Thanks for the pick.
We got it back for the Eagles. I'm good. For the Jets.
Yeah.
I want to get into a couple more either or to see how y'all feel about a few more players. So I was looking at the rankings on a couple different sites. I'm going to just give you a couple players that are ranked pretty close to each other. See which one you're going to take. 2 wide receivers with interesting QB situations this year. Who would you take first out of DK Metcalf and DJ Moore? 2 young guys, both with a lot of talent. Who had decent seasons last year.
That's a great one. Yeah, Chief.
I take DK. He's just more explosive. He's just a specimen. So he can make that little screenplay go for 60 and a touchdown. DJ Moore can too, but not at the rate that DK can. Yeah. So I go with the DK with the he has the most possibility of breaking one. Robbie Anderson still in Carolina? Robbie Anderson still in Carolina?
Yeah,
as far as I know.
I guess that's over. I'm good, bro. I thought about when off topic, I thought about because when he always said, "Yeah, Rob," like he took Robbie the year before, and I'm like, "Yo, he be cooking for." I was like, I left DJ Moore on the board, and I took Robbie because I just didn't know.
Smileys on his face.
I was like, "Yo, man," I said, "This old boy," and he do be cooking. I was like, "Oh, and Sam Darnold went back there," so I'm like, "Oh, that's his boy." Because in New York, it was letting it fly. Bro,
I was gonna take him if you didn't take him. I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Yeah, I guess you can leave me. I dropped it. I loose man's. I dropped my wide receiver number 2.
Who you like out of
honestly, the 2? That's tough. Because DK can be explosive, but DJ Moore is so underrated, and he can do the little things that don't get mentioned. But if Sam Darnold a quarterback, I got to go DK Metcalf because I just don't trust Sam. If Matt Corral somehow takes over, like DJ Moore has everything that you need in a receiver. He can win outside. He can win the intermediate. He can take it for the yak. Like he doesn't get the credit because the team just. I'm not sure what Carolina's like what their philosophy is. Like give the ball to C-Mac, but now he's hurt a lot. So
ball to C-Mac.
So it's like, but then you throw it 100 times, Sam is gonna get benched. Like so. I'm gonna go DK Metcalf because I feel like that core around him is also gonna help him out too. With Lockett, we know what he can bring to the table. And I like K-Dub, a rookie running back that they drafted. So if he could give anything in a run game, they solidified the O-line. They picked up Charles Cross. So I like DK because we know what DK can definitely bring, like how he's gonna exert himself on every play. So I'm gonna go with DK.
Gotcha. Let's look at a couple of running backs. So Arizona, we got James Conner, who had a surprisingly good year last year, even with who was the other running back that was there that got injured?
Leave us, Chase Edmonds.
Yeah. Chase Edmonds. So now he's gonna pretty much be the guy. And then we have in Denver, we have Javonte Williams, who has Melvin Gordon with them for another year. Of those two, given those situations, who you like? I know Cheese loves Javonte.
Yeah, I'm running.
Yeah, I do too. It's him. It's him.
I'm running it back with Javonte. No, it's me, man. That's mine.
No, you thought so. You wouldn't see him.
Yeah, I remember when we was drafted, and I think 2 Denver Broncos came off the board. It was a Randy turn. I was like, you might as well get Jerry Jeudy. I was like, yo, just don't get Javonte. Just don't get. I need my running back. I was like, just don't get Javonte. I knew Javonte was special.
Javonte from him, you. Yeah, it's him.
So even with the timeshare, you still like him better.
Definitely.
Melvin gonna be out the lineup because he's gonna fumble. Melvin gonna be out the lineup. But you had to bring Melvin back because you need that vet that's going, just in case if he hits a wall in year 2, that's cool. But Melvin's not starting week 1. That's Javonte. It's him.
I think last year with Javonte being a rookie, Melvin got a good bulk of the carries and had more trust. After last year, after they saw what Javonte do, is Melvin's RB2 there. Melvin has to be RB2 there. So I'm going Javonte easily. I forgot the other running back we was comparing to. I knew it was Javonte. I forgot. But yeah, Javonte.
He said
I said Connor, now he got the lead role after he was
James Conner.
He had his time. Please leave me. Yeah.
I'm just saying he was surprisingly productive.
I'll go James Conner for the first 6 weeks until D-Hop comes back.
But you see what happened with James Conner. He was good doing all that and started getting hurt. To the end of the season, ankle injury, nagging injuries. He done been in that lead role before and had other injuries before. So you're leaving. Javonte's got way more upside.
Way more.
Well, I definitely think the upside. I just think Connor was finding the end zone more. I don't know if that'll be with the other weapons they have.
Because because what they were doing in Arizona, I had Kyler. They'll literally throw it to the 2, and now they're having a power runner. He was getting spoon fed. After Eddie did the work, he just get spoon fed. He had some good long runs, but a lot of his goal line touchdowns by almost 20. That's ridiculous. What do you have, O?
For what?
How many touchdowns?
How many touchdowns Connor had? He had over 15.
Did he have that many? I know he had a lot, but
I think he had 15 rushing. He had a few catching.
Yeah,
he definitely led the league in rushing TDs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was finding it. Real quick before we get kicked off, we talked about Javonte. Is that the guy we expect to take the biggest leap in year 2, or is there somebody else y'all like to take the biggest leap?
As far as running back or any player?
Any position, any year 2 guy.
Ooh, that's a good question. What you got, Chief? Don't you say, don't say nobody over there in Tennessee.
No.
Okay.
Our whole draft class was hurt.
I thought you about to say Caleb. Like, bro, leave me.
Nah, honestly, it might be his teammate. I think it's PS2. I think he's gonna solidify himself as a top. I ain't gonna reach too much. I'm not gonna say top 5. I'll probably say top 10 corner for sure. I think he'll solidify himself as a top 10 corner for sure. With all the receivers that he has to face, he's gonna make a lot of plays this year, especially in that division. You got Javonte, you got Tay, you got Keenan Allen, you got Mike Williams, you got Hunter Renfrow.
Leave us, please.
Who else is in the division? Chiefs, right? Chiefs. Who knows who their top receiver? I mean, they got Juju and a whole bunch of talented receivers, but I think PS2 going to solidify itself as a top 10 corner for sure next year. That would be my vote for who makes the biggest jump.
Gotcha. Who you like, Jay?
Going defense.
Trevor Lawrence, man. I think he's about to take a great leap. Honestly, being just with a quarterback savvy guy and Doug Peterson. Just getting away from just getting away from just the toxic vibes that they had, and just like I feel like they weren't. And it's not even just like him. I just felt like the staff that Urban had just wasn't for Trevor. You know what I mean? Like Doug Peterson favors the quarterbacks. He's a quarterback guy. He played quarterback, so I feel like his success is on Trevor's arm. You know what I mean? So they're going to make sure they put him in great situations. We saw how he could just flip with Wentz to Foles, and how Foles can lead a team. You know what I mean? That's just not Foles playing. That's your coach putting you in great situations and knowing, playing to your strengths. So I think he's going to have a great year too.
Yeah, I think he definitely could take a leap. I was probably going to go with Devontae. I just think the opportunities would be more. I'm interested to see if there'll be a timeshare, to what extent it'll be. But like you said, he got the most upside probably of any other guy, other than the QB, which is kind of we know that they could take that leap in year 2. But yeah, we covered what we set out to cover. Good episode. We're going to skip shout outs because we already know it's either Rooks or
Kari. Blasting game.
Yo, you
shout out Kari.
Take Davis on the fight,
Kari,
bro. It ain't no Kari.
Kari, we want to get you on the pod. This is our moment, man. We trying to take off. We need a young bull that's a dog out there.
That'd be very funny if we get him on the pod. Bro,
hey,
that would be hilarious.
Hey, Kari, man, don't play us, Kari. Shout out to Chicago signing my guy too. I seen that.
Gotcha.
She's lost a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's because he was with the squad. That's all. That's a good one.
So yeah, we're gonna
shout out Rooks too, though. You looking good on NBA Twitter live, boy.
Of course.
That Rooks fire.
We will catch y'all next week. Hopefully, all 4 of us will get a hold of Moose.
Please, Ron in town. Ain't no getting Moose. Ron in town.